Jai Gurudev, everybody. Namaskar, Yadavji. It's lovely to be here after 6 years in Munich. I guess it was 6 years. 5 years? 5 years ago. So Akesh Das was asking now, as I'm on the way to Austria, if I will do something here in Munich. I was saying, okay, fine. Let's do something informal. Let's meet up with the devotee and the people here. Then I said, okay, fine, let's have a satsang, which I see you have prepared a question. There's one question I want to ask you first, before I look at your question. So that question, when I was in Mexico last week, I also asked the people the question, the same question. When we look at the world nowadays, now especially, what do we see? What do you see? Sorry? Good. At least one person is saying something wonderful. Actually, this is the thing, you see. What you're looking for, that's what you will see. If your mind is negative, you will perceive, you will look for that negativity. Even if there is, in the midst of all positive things happening, you will see the negative. Because that's what you are drawn to. Because your attitude towards negativity, inside of you, you have been trained so to look at negativity, to look at the chaos, to look at all the wrong thing of this world, that have incorporated so deep inside of you. Because that's what you are accustomed to. And that's what you will see on the outside. Admit around you there's so many wonderful things happening. Do you see that? You will see it only when you go to holiday. Or when you go on the mountain for a walk, then you are in a calm state, then you perceived what is the beauty around you. But in your life, each moment, there's beautiful thing happening. But no, we choose to look at the negative things in our life and we hang on that. So how would we appreciate what is happening around? Not possible. One thing is for sure, what are you looking for? Happiness. No? This is a big question. Even when I do darshan online, very often you see that, people ask this question. I want to do my dharma. So I'm asking you, you know about dharma. You have all read the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna has talked at length about dharma. In spite of knowing, but yet, nobody is doing the dharma. So what is that mysterious dharma? What is this? But we are searching, yet, even if it is there, we don't even know about it. What it is, but truly, what will make us happy. Now in the Ramcharitamanas, In Ramayana, probably if you have heard the story of Ram, there is a beautiful moment when they were wondering where Sita is. Sita was kidnapped by Ravana. So they were asking, who will go to Lanka to find out where Sita is? So there's nobody who can go so fast to Lanka, no? Nowadays, Sri Lanka. So they all, then Jambavan, one of the companion of the Ram party, I tried to put it in a very human way for you to understand. He said, Hanuman will go. Hanuman, I guess everybody knows about him. Hanuman looked at him and said, me? What are you talking about? How can I go? I can't go. There's a big ocean in between us. And then they say, yes. You can go. You are the only one who can go. Hanuman started laughing. Said, impossible. And then Jambavan said, you just need to remember who you are. By knowing that one thing, everything is known. By remembering who you are truly, everything is known. But we are searching for that one thing in everything else. We are searching of that knowing, that self, in people, somebody else. We are searching in things. We are searching in name, fame, glory. But you can't find. That's why whatever people does, still they remain unhappy. Even if their aim is happiness, night and day they think of happiness. How can I be happy? What should I do to be happy? But yet, that happiness doesn't awake. Because they don't know themselves. Happiness will derive, the happiness that awake inside of you, that sincerity, that true happiness, can be only when you find yourself. And for that we have seen a lot of great personality, great sages, had left everything. They have run away from people. Because amid of people, they have not found that happiness. They rather become in companion with the animal of the forest, or built a bond with the forest itself, with the trees, among the trees. They find more peace and happiness. Because everybody have the same mindset. But being in the same mindset as everybody, what will change? Nothing will change. You will just do everything that others are doing. Copy paste, nothing else. They're all looking for happiness. You are also looking for happiness. They are miserable. You are also miserable. How would you find that happiness? And yet, the difference is that everyone have this happiness. You know that, yes, I have to be different, but I can't be different. Because if I am different from everybody else, it will be terrible. But have you seen that being in masses, somebody have attained God realization? No. Being in masses, nobody have attained realization. Otherwise, we will have a group of people who have attained realization sitting in one corner. But I have traveled the world, I have never seen a group of people sitting in one corner, all of them attain realization. Even in the middle of sadhus, I have not seen someone, all of them radiate that great love. They have great blessing, they have advance, but being in that, it's not. That's why we have to dare to be different. Even if it is challenging, even if it is what the whole masses want us to be, it's not your dharma. If everybody become like a sheep, if one sheep jump the fence, everybody will jump the fence. The herd mentality will be inside of you. What would you achieve? Nothing. When you are hungry, as much as I said, yes, your mother loves you, your father loves you, can they eat for you? Okay, you're parents, you love your children. When your child is sick, as much worry you are, can you take the sickness upon you? You can't. You will help the person, but you can't take it upon yourself. You are hungry, I will say, you stop eating, I will eat for you. Would you do it? No, you will not. So you have to become that model of happiness itself, what we are talking about. And it is not by closing yourself in a room. You can try it, Lock yourself. You've been doing your sadhana, you've been doing your spiritual practice, no? Lock your room 24 hours only. Lock yourself in a room. Don't take any food, no water, nothing. You will see how quickly your happiness will disappear. I remember when I was doing a silent retreat in Rishikesh. There was a general from the Indian army. He said, Guruji, I can't. 5 days will be too much for me. I said, at least try it, So when you do silent retreat, what goes through? Silent is not just we refrain from talking. Silent means we silence the mind also from thinking. This is the silent that we are talking about. Where the mind stops dictating you, then you can enter into that calm state. But it's not an easy thing. And happiness comes when you are into that state. You are into that communion with yourself. What are you looking for? You're looking for yourself. You're searching to get to know who you are. There's not other greater search. God will come by His own accord, running to you, the moment you have found yourself. Because once you have found yourself, there will be such an ecstatic joy inside of you. There will be such a magnetized happiness inside of you. But even God will want to come. And He will find any excuses to come to you. And to have such joy, we cross over all the limitation that our mind have set. Because what we are very drawn towards our own limitation. We attach ourselves to our own limitation, and yet we want to be happy. Happy don't come. What come? Miserable. I sit there, Guruji have said, let me sit and meditate. You sit and meditate and do your japa, 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 japa. Nothing happened. What is the outcome of it? Happiness? Oh, disappointment. So you become very disappointing, You're disappointed with your own effort. But if you are truly happy with yourself, if you have awake now, you have let go of everything else, let me be who I am. Beyond all limitation that our mind is dictating us, Bhagavan will come. No matter what color, caste, creed, gender, this he don't look at, all these things. The moment there is love inside of your life, the moment you become such a magnet, he will run to you. We were talking about Ramayana. There's Shabari. Have you heard about Shabari? There was an old lady. When she was very young, she let go of everything. She ran and found her guru. And her guru said, "But God will come and visit you." So how would I know who he is? He said, "His name is Ram. He will come to you." So she sat there in her hut and waiting for Ram. Every day she would prepare herself as if Ram will come. And Shabari come from a tribal. No? She was from a tribe, from a very low caste. To give her darshan, Ram came to visit her. Sant Pundalik, a saint from Maharashtra, he was just serving his parent, but with happiness and love. Whatever he was doing it with such a love and happiness. He was not even thinking of God, but he was just serving his parent with that ecstatic love. That is my duty. I will just serve my parent. I will love and serve my parent, what I'm doing. With such love, Lord Krishna came to him. He was not thinking of Krishna. Even when Krishna came, he said, "Oh, you wait there. I'm serving my parent now. You stand there patiently. When I finish, then I will come to you." But God didn't he didn't take any offense for that. Because what drawn him, why he wanted to come and give darshan to Pundalik, it was that love that he had inside of him. And here nowadays we hear, they say, "Oh, we don't love life. Life is terrible. Life is difficult." That is the most precious thing that God have given you. The most precious gift that you have is your life. When would you realize that? When there is no time for you to realize it? When diseases are eating you? When you are lying and you say, Lord of Death is standing, say, "Here, it's time, come on." Then you will realize that? Then there's no time. Then you say, "Yes, now I want some time. Give me 5 minutes to be happy." You have a whole long lifetime, you didn't be happy, and now 5 minutes you will be happy? You will not be happy. So find that happiness now, find yourself now. Engage in things that make you happy. You will see that Whether it is your job, whether it is whatever you're doing in your life, you don't need to change anything. But just love what you're doing. Give the fullness of yourself into it. Be dedicated to what you're doing. If you give the fullness in what you're doing, God will come to you in your job itself. In Vrindavan, there was a saint, a lady saint. She was named the Cursed Lady. So whatever she does, she was always cursing Lord Krishna. That was her love for Krishna. In the morning she would wake up, she would serve Lord Krishna, bathing Lord Krishna, giving sweet to Lord Krishna, dress Lord Krishna nicely, caress him. But during the day, it was completely different. During the day, if she will feel hungry, she will curse Krishna. Now something goes right in her way, said, you don't see? And she will curse Krishna. So one day she left, she went to some traveling for 4 days. And in her house, her room, lots of dust have accumulated. Because in Vrindavan, very quickly, dust has accumulated. So what she did, she came back very angrily, looking at her house. She cleaned everything, all the dust, she dumped it on Krishna. In Vaikuntha, Bhagavan was sitting, and as he was sitting, a whole bunch of dust fell on him. So the people around him was wondering, what is happening? Why do you tolerate such things like that? And he said, well, when she offered me laddu, I take it. Why will I not take what she's offering with so much love? So this is what connects us, you see. It is not how much sadhana we are doing, how much name we are chanting of Him. If we don't have love in our heart, all these are useless. And this is the most important thing, to love. To love what we are doing, to love what God has put on our way. Even if sometimes it's difficult, but yet we have to perceive that if we want to be happy, let's hold upon that. Then happiness will come to your life. True happiness, not a happiness which comes and goes. You have to give the fullness of yourself. He will give Himself fully. If you give halfway, He don't accept anything. If you say, yes, let me give one part of me only, the other part I keep for myself. He don't take half. If He take only full. So when you have given yourself fully to His mercy, He will give Himself also fully to you. So, look at your question. You want a long answer and short answer? So in which special way can we prepare ourselves to be more closer to God. Funny. Like I was just saying, life after life, we have prepared ourselves. And we are keep preparing ourselves. Many lives, for sure, you have gone through, said, yes, I know I want God, but, there's always a but, no? I was not happy in that life. Maybe next life I will be happy. I'm not happy in this life. I look forward for another life to be happy. So we always prepared ourselves for next step. So to be closer to God, we don't need to prepare ourselves. We just need to be. That's what I was saying earlier. To be yourself. And you can be sure that He is one person that will accept you the way you are. Without judging you, without criticizing you. But where does the judgment come? When I was telling about limitation, I'm talking about also the self-judgment that we put on ourselves. We constantly judge without knowing. Without knowing the whole truth, we judge because we think we know better. So how would we be happy? How would we be close to God? Imagine God come to you and said, you see, I have seen many people, they say, yes, we love God. If I ask here people, do you believe in God? Do you love Him? What would you say? But my answer will be to you, do you know Him? How many of you know Him? You see, no answer. What you can do, as a preparation to be closer to Him, you have to get to know Him firstly. Without knowing Him, why would you want to be near Him? Knowing Him, I'm not telling you what somebody else is telling you. I'm not telling you that what the priests tell you. No, I'm telling you, make your own experience of Him. Let Him come to you. Because for each one, He will come in a different way. When we look at all the saints who have had experience of God, we can't see that everyone have the same experience. All of them are different. And this is the beauty of that, If we want to be close to Him, we have to experience Him. This life of saints is an example. The life of the sages are example. But you have to make your own. When I was in South Africa at the beginning of the year, somebody asked me a question. Have you seen Bhagavad? Bhagavatam is a compilation of Bhagwan's Leela and his devotee. So somebody asked me a question, is there anything else which is not written in the Bhagavad? I said, yes, your relationship with God. That will be a new chapter. How God come to you, through which experience He have come and revealed Himself to you. Why do many people complain about their problem instead of tackling them? This is very true, actually. It's easy to complain, that's why. You see, to go through your problem, it takes courage. It takes big strength to go through it. And it is easy to dump your problem on somebody else. If you have a problem, you put it on somebody else and blame the person, somebody else for it. It is not, doesn't make you feel good about it. I know you're holy people. But that's what people do. When they don't know the whole story, they have not worked on themselves. They don't want to work on themselves. What is more easy? To blame somebody else for it. Like that, you have dumped your rubbish on someone else, and then you think that you are free from that and you are happy about it. But would you be free from that? No, you will not, because deep inside it will still eat you. That's why nowadays you have lots of people having cancer, because they are not free from their own guilt inside of them. You know, once there was a king. He wanted to feed a lot of children with kheer, sweet rice. So he cooked sweet rice. As the sweet rice was being cooked, there was a eagle flying with a deadly snake in its claws. So as it was flying, the snake fell in the boiling sweet rice and boiled together, went down, nobody could see. So that sweet rice, everything was poison. So nobody could see what is deep underneath in the pot. So this sweet rice was given to all children, and as the children ate, all of them died. So the king also ate, he also died. So they went to the Lord of Death, Yamaraj. Seeing the children and the king there, Yamaraj was shocked. Now to whom shall I punish? Whose fault was that? Was it the fault of the king? No, he's also dead the same way. Very confused. Him and his assistant, Chitragupta, decide to come and investigate. So they both came down and they were investigating in the region. So they went to the shopkeeper and said, listen, we want to go we need some direction, we want to go somewhere. Please show us the direction. So the shopkeeper said, don't go this way. This way is where the king killed all the children. Go the other way. So seeing that, Chitragupta said, he is at fault. Yamaraj said, why are you saying? Because without knowing the whole truth, he is accusing the king of killing all the children. But this is the same state we are, Without knowing the whole truth, we like to blame others. But actually the blame is in ourselves. Because we have part of it also. We contribute in everything that is going around, what we can perceive. If we were good, that good also will participate in the good things. But we like to put the blame on somebody else. That's why people can't go through their things. That's why they need therapy. When you go for therapy, the therapist asks you to go through your problem. Then you go through it little by little. With the hope that you can go out of it. But would you learn to accept that this comes from you? You take courage for that. How can I get others to quickly recognize that others need help and then give without being asked? Look, it's a funny question. You see, we think that we are better than everybody else, and everybody else need help. Actually, I think you have to recognize that the problem is not in other people who need help. You need help yourself, firstly. Because you see, we have a mentality, we think that we are the savior of everybody else. We are here as a Jesus or a great savior to save the whole humanity, when you can't even save yourself. So learn firstly to save yourself firstly. Learn firstly to help yourself. Then you'll be able to help others. If you can't help yourself, why would you help others? You yourself are a slave of your mind. Are you free from your mind? No. If you're not free from your mind, learn to free yourself from your mind. From the dictation of the mind. Then by your self-change, you will be able to help others. When you have changed, it will be a blessing to you and to everybody else. But if you have not changed and yet you want to change somebody else, what blessing can it be? It can't be. Soham, this is a very nice question. Soham, O Aham Brahmashtami. Soham means I am. And Aham Brahmashtami, I am that. How can one practice this and how can one attain the goal? Soham. I am what? I am the Atma. And then Aham Brahmashtami, I am that. Who is that? That is Brahman, no? The Supreme Spirit, God. In the path of bhakti, we call it Narayana. How can I practice Soham? You don't need to practice Soham. Continuously you are saying Soham, 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 but yet you don't know about it. Not by just saying, sitting here and chant Soham, 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 Soham. Would you be that? Eh? By continuously Aham Brahmashtami, I am that, I am that, I am that. You will not become that. Soham, like I said, you're continuously saying it. If you calm yourself and listen to your breathing, you're inhaling, say so, and you're exhaling, say hum. If you concentrate only on that, that will bring certain awareness to you. Have you done that? Let's do it now. Just for 15 minutes. No, you will not do it for 15 minutes. Not for, just for you to listen. Not to my voice, but listen to your breathing. Close your eyes, because the eyes is very distractive, you know. You try to look, you get distracted very easily. Calm yourself and listen to your breathing. Listening to your inhaling and exhaling. Listen, go deeper into the sound of it. Right now you can't really listen, but you can try to practice it at home. You know, you will see many sages have attained realization just by listening, by concentrating upon the breathing itself. So you inhale so and exhale hum. And Aham Brahmashtami, remind yourself that you are part of the Supreme. You are not the Supreme, but you are part of Him. Aham Brahmashtami means not I am that, because you can't be the Supreme. You are part of the Supreme. You are part of the Divine. You are part of God. A part of God have the whole quality of God inside, but you can't become God. Just like a drop of the ocean hold all the quality of the ocean inside. If you take a drop and do some research upon, you will have the same quality of the ocean. But you can't call the drop an ocean. A drop is a drop. But the ocean is an ocean. So you are part of Bhagwan. You are part of God. That is Aham Brahmashtami. Will modern science ever be able to explain the law of karma in the same way as, for example, explain the law of physics? Well, probably one day, because there is always a cause and effect. They may not use the same in science, they may not use the same word as we say karma, but you use the word cause and effect. Whatever you make will have a certain effect. You may call it karma because you are spiritual, but they call it cause and effect. When a soul enters Shivalok, can it move on later to Vaikuntha? Well, when the Atma is let's say you have your bhav is pulled toward Lord Shiva. That is your longing to serve Lord Shiva. No? So when you leave from this plane, you go to the domain of Lord Shiva. If that is the bhav to be there with Lord Shiva, why would you want to be in Vaikuntha? You would not have that bhav, no? Because that bhav that you want to serve Lord Shiva will bring you to where you have to be. That's what Lord Krishna said at the end, in the Gita. He said that when you are departing from this world, what is the last image your mind focus upon that will be your next incarnation. If your mind is attached to the divine, it will go to the divine realm. If your mind is attached to the material reality, you come back here. If your mind is attached to the ghost, you're missing your parents or your family, you will go where they are. But those who is attached to me, come to me. So the mind have to raise to that consciousness, but it have to attach to the Supreme Lord. Yeah. And like I said always, Vaikuntha is not a place there. Vaikuntha is here, on earth itself. You have to make this place Vaikuntha. You have to make your life Vaikuntha. It's of no use thinking that, oh yes, I will sit here and wait for death to come, then I can go to a place. Here I have made my life miserable, unhappy. I have made all the people around me unhappy. I have caused problem in their life, but I was a great bhakt. Because I was worshipping him, I have made the whole creation that he have created unhappy, I will go to his domain. Wow. I would not like you to be there. If you were problematic here, you will create problem there also. So best is that you become a better human being here. If you adore Lord Shiva, open up your heart to Lord Shiva. If you adore Lord Narayana, let it be. The object of your devotion, that's what will bring you. But if Bhagavan Shiva is pleased with you, Bhagavan Narayana can bring you to Vaikuntha also. We see that a few days ago there was a great saints, the festival of a great saint, Narsinh, not Narsinh Mehta. Narsinh Mehta also was a great bhakta of Lord Shiva, actually. Yes, it's true. Narsinh Mehta was a great bhakta of Lord Shiva. At a very young age, his sister-in-law threw him out of the house. He went to the to the forest near Shiv temple. He banged his head on the Shivling and said, I don't want to live. So he fainted. As he fainted, Lord Shiva appeared in front of him. When he saw Lord Shiva, Lord Shiva said, ask me, what do you want? What did he ask? Let me experience what make you the most happiest. And Lord Shiva was in a dilemma at that moment. How can I make him experience the bhav which I am experiencing? I can't make him. He's a great bhakta of me, yes, but I can't make him experience that. But for making him experience that, I have to bring him to Vaikuntha. So Bhagavan Shiv took Narsinh Mehta to Vaikuntha, where Bhagavan Krishna was having the Ras. So he saw the Ras Leela of Bhagavan. And when Bhagavan blessed him, said, go and spread my love to everybody on earth. Remind everybody that I'm very dear to them. And he came, and with the grace of Lord Shiva, he became a great bhakt of Lord Krishna. But I was not thinking of Narsinh Mehta at that moment, actually. I wanted to tell you the story of another saint from Pandharpur who was a jeweler, Narhari Sonar, who was a great devotee of Lord Shiva. He was a fanatic of Lord Shiva. And you see, Lord Shiva and Mahavishnu, they're not separate from each another. We said Lord Shiva resides in the heart of Vishnu, Lord Vishnu resides in the heart of Lord Shiva. And they are not separate from each another. So Narhari Sonar was a fanatic of Lord Shiva. He grew up just in front of the temple of Lord Vithala in Pandharpur. But he never looked at the temple, because it's a Krishna temple. He will cover his face while coming out of the house. So one day, there was a rich man who decided to donate a belt, a gold belt, to Lord Vithala. But there were no artisan, there were no jeweler to make it. They asked him, go to this man, he will make it. He went there, he said, no, I don't do anything for that Vithala. And he was shocked. He said, okay, listen, I'll pay you triple, you do that. So Narhari Sonar accepted, said, I will not go in the temple to measure. You measure the waist of the deity and come to me, I will make a belt for you. So he went, brought the measurement, and Narhari Sonar made the belt. So when they went to the temple, it was short. He brought him and said, it is 2 centimeters short. He said, how is it possible? My measurement, what you gave me, I made exactly the same. Strange. So he made it 2 centimeters longer. Again, this time, it was still shorter. For the 3rd time also, it was still shorter. Then he decided, okay, I will go to the temple myself. Bhagavan has his ways. I will measure it myself, but I will not look at him. Blindfold me. So he blindfolded himself, and they carried him in the temple, and he was holding Lord Vithala. If you have been to Pandharpur, you know how it is. And he was measuring. But as he was touching Lord Vithala, he said, but this is not Krishna. He touched the head, it is matted. You feel the rasta hair of Lord Shiva, but this is my Lord Shiva. So he removed the blindfold and he looked. Again, Vitthal was standing there. So again, he put the blindfold. Again, he touched. He saw Gangadhara. Everything is Lord Shiva. He removed. Again, Vitthal was standing. Several times like this it goes, until he have that recognition that there is no difference between them. What is Lord Shiva is Sriman Narayana. And what is Narayana is Shiva itself. They are not separate from each other. That love that bonds them, it is so amazing. We see that when Lord Krishna himself was born. Bhagavan Shankar came to have darshan of Lord Shiva. Yashoda Maya said, no, not possible. We see it in the Ras Leela. Nobody else was allowed, but Lord Shiva came because he had that love for Lord Krishna. So where that love is, that difference disappeared. So, if Bhagavan wants you to be in Vaikuntha, you'll be in Vaikuntha. How can we practice our sadhana in a relationship with a non-devotee without neglecting one of them? This question is funny. In the last online darshan, somebody asked me similar question. Said, shall I be with my husband because he's not a devotee? And I look at her and say, listen, what makes you, what is a challenge into your life, that makes you more stronger. It's not about running away from people which is non-devotees or you have to be only among devotees. No, it's not about that. It's about giving what you have. Keep shining in the midst of everything else. Keep strong your faith and carry on doing your sadhana. If you're happy with your partner, even if they are not a devotee, why should you change? Be happy. It's not about running away and said, okay, now it's difficult, I can't do my sadhana, I'll run away. That will not change anything, So imagine now I will tell you, yes, run away from the people. Would you do it? If you have to do that, first you have to get rid of your parents. Secondly, get rid of your loved one. And is that a spiritual life? Spirituality is not about separating. It's about learning to embrace. They have the difference. Remind yourself, 20 years ago, where were you? Now you're spiritual. Now you have how do you call it? A halo on your head. You are walking very proud, judging everybody else. You were once like that. Why you forget about that? There's a time for everybody to change and transform. If it's not in this life, it will be in another life. But if that grace have come to you and you have changed your life, very happy for you. Dear Guruji, at what point during pregnancy does the soul enter the body? It's a very tricky question. Actually, I would say day one, because this is a preparatory. The Atma, which have to be born inside of you, already is getting ready to be born inside of you. Because you have a certain karma, a certain connection with that Atma. And that Atma said, okay, this is how I will get rid of all my karmic connection with you. Let me prepare myself. So, the moment you're in your action, the Atma is already preparing itself to descend. And of course, pregnancy goes naturally, science would say, yes, it's growing. But the Atma descends inside 1.5 weeks after the fullness of it. But the whole preparation is also considered as being part of the Atma itself. So don't think that before that it's easy, yes, let's go and get rid of that. No. It's all in the process of it. How can we learn to hear God's voice in our heart and to perceive it? First, you have to calm your mind. Without a calm mind, you can't listen to your heart. Your mind is like a dog which is constantly barking. And you are like a stupid person who is always constantly listening to and fulfilling what the mind is telling. So when you stop doing that, you will hear clearly the voice of your intuition. Because the word of the voice of the intuition, the intuitive voice, is constantly there. But do you listen to it? In your life, there were so many instances. You have to take a certain decision. And you know the answer clearly. It vibrates inside of you clearly, strongly. You know, yes, this is it. But when you have to do it, you do opposite. And then after that, when the result comes, I knew it. I should have listened to the first thought that I had. Have this happened to you? Yeah, it's happened to you every day probably. Where you choose the second voice. So if you learn to listen clearly, then you will be able to distinguish between your intuitive voice and the voice of the mind. Because in that intuitive voice, it's a direct and clear answer. There's no doubt to it. There's no more question to it. But what comes with the mind, you are not sure. In spite of taking the decision, you are still not sure. So, if you learn to listen to that intuitive voice first, you'll be fine. Will live spirituality become a part for all people to go through life? I hope so. What is spiritual meaning of getting angry before an event with you? That's a very big question. Depend who is making you angry. It's a difficult question to answer. Who is this Vittal Das? Why were you angry? Were you stressed about coming? Now, I'm not saying it's about me. I said you're angry. I'm not there, so how can you be angry? Do you had a bad working day today? It's fine, I accept that also. If angry was. How can one be more aware of you, of your will, follow your will, and not the ego, but also interfere? Is it the lack of discernment, or are we not connected enough to the heart? Or is it our desire that cloud our perception, that ultimately prevent us from following your will? That's a lot of will inside. Look, I don't think you will be able to follow everything that the Master said, The point is that you have to educate yourself. This is where knowledge is important. Yeah. When you know and feel that it resonate the same language that the Master is telling you, you feel and resonate the same thing that the Guru is telling you, then you will be able to do it. You will do it easily. You see, when you have to do something for you, you will always find it difficult. But when you have to do something for somebody else, it will be much easier. For you, you will find always excuse for not doing. But if you want to do something for somebody else, you will find every excuse to do it. So always think about that, If you're doing it, try to do not for the pleasing of your own ego. Try to do it as a service. Try to do it as remembering for whether it is for God, for the Guru, or for someone else. You see, in that path you are walking, the moment you have taken the path of surrendering to the spiritual path, everything in your life have to become unconditional. So the moment that becomes unconditional, you will see that everything will flow naturally. What do you think is the greatest gift that God have given to people? Exactly. Love, life is the same. It is said that with your soulmate by your side, you are happiest and life is even more beautiful. Why haven't I met him yet, even though I would like to? I have lived here for a long time. Oh, you have met your soulmate. Every day you meet your soulmate. Your soulmate is not a second person. This is a problem. People think that your soulmate is a different person. Your soulmate is your own body, is yourself. It's you and your body. Who is with you all the time? Huh? Your body is always with you. In the Bhagavad, there's this wonderful story of Puranjana. You have heard about? I've been telling a lot of stories. When I was in LA 3 weeks ago, somebody said, Guruji, I like to tell stories. I said, me too, I like to tell stories. Because this is one thing that stay with the people, it's a story. You may forget everything that I said, blah, 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 finish. But what will you remember? You remember the story. But the story of Puranjana is so beautiful. We are looking for the life partner, what is it called? Soulmate. When the soul is always there, and he's just saying, please, you rascal, wake up a little bit. So, Puranjana, him and his friend was living happily. There were no problem. They were soulmate. And one day Puranjana said, okay, I want to go and experience life. And the soulmate could not say no to him. He said, okay, bye. He left. He came across a big city of 9 gates. And there, as he entered, he perceived a beautiful princess. And they got married. When they got married, he became the king. Then he had to take responsibility. And that princess had a big entourage around her. And like that, his life was finished. Many enemies came to attack the palace. You have to defend. And at the end, everything was taken away from him. I'm just cutting it short for you to understand. So when he was in that state, he said, is that life only? Is this what life have given me? At that moment, his friend said, hey, tap him on his back and said, I am here. Said, wow. He looked at himself and he looked at his friend. His friend was beautiful and he was already like a dry potato. I said, how come? Then the friend said, look, I was always with you, but you never noticed me. I was always there, but your mind was always elsewhere. The city of night gate is our body. That's what it is always with us. No? Your parents, they are there, they will not be there one day. But your body will always be with you. Until you leave this plane, they will be always with you. If that is not your life partner, who else is your life partner? You're looking for another life partner to give you more headache. You will have. This will come without asking, but you are asking for it. So, realize that is the life partner. Then, when you have realized that, and you put a smile on your face, the other partner also will come. Because very often people, very miserably, they ask me, Guruji, when would I find my love partner? I said, with such a face like that, who wants to be with you? Huh? You have to be joyful and happy. Like I said earlier, you see, the world is miserable, and you are miserable, you're contributing to be miserable. I am miserable, you are miserable. We expect happiness out of that. Amazing. Minus and minus it become plus, but that negativity and negativity don't become happiness. They become more unhappy. This is the different with Satguru, When you greet somebody, Namaste, no? Jai Gurudev, Namaskar. You greet like this, and the person also respond to you the same. But when you go to the Guru, what is it? You don't greet like this. You bow down. The devotee bow down to the Satguru, no? Why? You greet, said, do you have that happiness? And the other one said, no, I don't have that happiness. But when you go to the Guru, said, I want to be happy. And Guru said, be patient. Jai Gurudev, everybody.